the traditional weaving traditions of Manipur among the Meitei community
into the binary of the craft and knowledge in Manipur. The weaving itself is not an occupational skill when it comes to Manipur. Oral knowledge, but it is also a codified knowledge among the Meiteis. The element of matrilineal inheritance and the haptic wisdom attached to weaving, taught from the mother to the daughter. So the home has become the pedagogical site. Moirang Phee, where the only floating lek in the world, which is called Loktak lek, it is very famous for its border, which we call it Fizin. Our first king, we believe that he can even shift. So he is half the dragon hat and the serpent body, because it's a meat. So the symbol of this border is teeth of the Ibudo Pakamba, something like QR code where we can scan, and which not only gives the product detail but also gives the voice of the real weaver, the actual weaver.
Namaskar viewers, and a heartiest welcome to this podcast segment of Bharat Ki Soch. Bharat Ki Soch is a think tank inspired by ancient Indian wisdom. We believe that there is a vast mine of information and knowledge contained in our ancient Indian scriptures that can be explored and utilized to build a resilient and progressive Bharat that can contribute significantly and substantially towards our goal of Viksit Bharat by 2047. There are 6 verticals or research areas along which we are doing work at present. These are governance, environment and sustainability, economy, commerce and finance, agriculture and food security, nutrition, health and well-being, and national security. Today, we are joined by Dr. Sophia Lisam. Dr. Lisam is a doctorate in sociology from the nation's prestigious and premier university, JNU. So I welcome Dr. Lisam to today's podcast segment.
Thank you, Dr. Anand. And it is truly a pleasure to be here today and to have the opportunity to reflect on my work. Thank you so much.
Dr. Lisam, you have written a powerful and evocative article titled Threats That Hold a Civilization. The title itself is quite catchy and intriguing. So please help us, our viewers, unpack these layered meanings and how do we look at the traditional weaving traditions of Manipur among the Meitei community, to which you also belong. And please throw some light on the GI tag textiles of Manipur that mentioned in your article.
Thank you, Dr. Anand. To understand the loom in Manipur, one have to begin by stepping into the binary of the craft and knowledge in Manipur, because the weaving itself is not an occupational skill when it comes to Manipur. It is an ontological act, and it is also a participation into the cosmological order. And you will understand why I have mentioned the cosmological order. So let me begin from the Meitei belief, because GI tech textile of Manipur, we have currently 3 textile which belong to the Meitei community and which was recognized in 2014. And I hope the traditional textile of other communities which are on the pipeline should also become recognized very soon. Yes. So in the Meitei belief, we have the supreme goddess Leimaril Sidabi. So we believe that the art of weaving was introduced by the goddess herself to the humanity. So the epistemology and the cosmology has been attached to this belief. And in order to understand this cosmological order, we have the ancient manuscript which is called Puya. Puyas are the ancient manuscript of Manipur, which is written in the Meitei Mayak script. So one of the revered Puya, which is known as the Leinung Lol Puya, in this Puya it has been mentioned that the discovery of the sacred thread, which is cotton, and the knowledge of weaving has been mentioned in this Puya. So it is not only oral knowledge, but it is also a codified knowledge among the Meiteis. What makes this epistemology particularly remarkable in Manipur is the element of matrilineal inheritance and the haptic wisdom attached to weaving, because the weaving itself in Manipur has a matrilineal lineage, because it is taught from the mother to the daughter. So the home has become the pedagogical site among the Meiteis when it comes to the loom.
Wow, interesting.
So now when we come to the 3 GI tech textile, the first textile, let us discuss from the semiotic field, because it is very rich in nature, and we will discuss the motif, the design, and the type of thread that has been chosen for this traditional textile. So let me start with the first GI Tech textile, which is in our indigenous term, we call it Shaphee Lanphee and also known as Manaphi. So let me come to the literal meaning of this textile. Shaphee, because Sa is animal in Manipuri. So it's the cloth with animal motif. And Lanphee, Lan is war. So it is a symbol of the victorious warrior. So it is believed that this cloth, Shaphee Lanphee, has been bestowed by the king to the warrior, the victorious warrior. So again, why it is also called Manaphi is, Mana is the reward. So Phee is cloth. So Shaphee Lanphee itself is a cloth which is attached to the symbol of the victory. So this is the first GI textile of Manipur. The second GI textile is known as Moirang Phee, and I think most of the viewers would also have been heard about the Moirang, which is where the only floating lake in the world, which is called Loktak Lake, is located in the Moirang. And in Moirang, they have their own like epic, which is known as Khamba Thoibi. So the very textile which is known as Moirang Phee is dedicated to this epic called Khamba and Thoibi, and it is very famous for its border, which we call it Fizin. Here also you can see the similar kind of border. So this symbolizes the teeth of the first king of the Meitei. We are the Meiteis are ancestor worshipper, and our first king, we believe that he can even shape shift. So he is half the dragon head and the serpent body, because it's a meat. And he can also become the human, the king, and he can also shift to the serpent with dragon head. So the symbol of this border is the teeth of the Ibudo Pakhamba. So this is again the Moirang Phee. And let me come to the third GI Tech textile, which is known as Wangkhei Phee. So Wangkhei Phee is a cotton muslin dupatta, like the stole kind of thing, and it is known for its subtlety and the grace and the elegance of the cloth itself. So all this textile together is not just a product, it is a woven library among the Meiteis. And this is what I call the pre-modern intellectual system among the Meiteis.
Wow, wonderful. I think our viewers might not be knowing so much about the weaving and cottage traditions of Manipur. So thank you so much, Dr. Lisam, for throwing such abundant light on the traditions, on the weaving traditions. And one particular aspect which has struck me and which has intrigued me, that the knowledge is matrilineal. So I think that is something which is very unique to this particular heritage. So my next question stems from your explanation. Then what are the challenges in the preservation and conservation of this traditional heritage of weaving encoded in cloth? And how can we preserve and conserve it so that this tradition not only survives but thrive in the 21st century? Please share some insights on that.
Thank you so much for the very pressing question, Dr. Anand. We are at the crossroad today, and the heritage tradition either fossilize into nostalgia or evolve into agency. So survival, it's not sufficient. We have to make all this heritage element, the artifact, even the textile, all of this should make aspirational again. So in my way forward, in my article, I have written 3 way forward, which is not sufficient, but for the starting, we can initiate with this. And this is not only for the GI Tech textile of Manipur, which we can apply for all the traditional textiles exist in India today. So the first way forward, which I have mentioned in my article, is that we can make such kind of textile as brand of origin. Here we can bring into digital technology and the contemporary product together. We can breed them together. So imagine we can have for all this kind of products, traditional products or textile, so we can have something like QR code where we can scan, and which not only gives the product detail but also gives the voice of the real weaver, the actual weaver. Then the genealogy and the origin of that product, the village from where this product has come. So the authenticity will never be separated when it comes to the commodification and commercialization, because when it comes to the tradition, authenticity is very important. So we shouldn't make any of the product abstract commodification. Absolutely. So this is the first way forward that I have mentioned. And let me come to the second way forward, which I have mentioned in my article, that when we talked about the slow fashion, now the slow fashion has come into the global discourse. So the sustainability narrative should also bring into light, because the sustainability is already there when we are using the plant dye, then the no electricity loom, and many other sustainability, which is very, very close with the ecology. Therefore, what we need today is the articulation in the global conversation regarding the ethical luxury, because all this comes under luxury product, but used with ethics. So this is my second way forward. And let me come to the final way forward of my article. So all this, the mathematics of design in textile, traditional textile, the motif, the story of the motif, the philosophy of motif, and the chemistry of the dye which has been using in the traditional textile can enter into the curricula. Today, when we talk about NEP 2020, the holistic model of study, and to preserve the heritage skill, so why not such kind of the textile science from the tradition should come in the curriculum today. So I think that will make a lot of difference to make such kind of product aspirational again to the youth of today. So the loom is not a relic, but it is a portal. Thank you, Dr. Anand.
Wow, that was such a fascinating and engaging conversation. I'm sure that our readers must have learned so much. There must be so many takeaways from our conversation. Thank you so much, Dr. Lisam, for throwing light on the weaving traditions of Manipur. And this is so much in line with the spirit of Bharat Ki Soch, wherein we are trying to rediscover and we are trying to protect the civilizational heritage of different pockets of Bharat, Manipur being one of them. As we come to the end of today's conversation, it becomes clear that our past is not only a story to be told and remembered, but a guide to be followed. Bharat's civilizational wisdom offers not only answers, but also solutions. If you found this conversation meaningful, impactful, illuminating, and insightful, please support Bharat Ki Soch by subscribing to our channel. Do take good care of yourselves. Namaste.